In every boarding school, there are rules. Lights out at 9. No leaving your dorm after curfew. And at St. Agnes Girls College, rule number 3. Never follow the matron after midnight. My name is Jane, and I wish I had listened. It was my first time at St. Agnes, a sprawling old boarding school tucked deep in the Nigerian countryside. The walls were the color of faded chalk. The air always smelled faintly of kerosene and something sweet, like overripe fruit. Matron Mabel was tall, with a long neck and eyes that never blinked long enough. She never smiled, except during morning assembly, and even then, it never reached her eyes. One night, I woke to the sound of soft humming. It was coming from the corridor. Through the crack in our dorm door, I saw Matron Mabel gliding past, carrying an old lantern. Her white uniform looked almost silver in the moonlight. She stopped at dormitory 4, knocked 3 times in a strange rhythm. And the door opened by itself. The next day, I asked Ruth, my bunkmate, about it. She paled instantly. "Don't follow her," she whispered. "The last girl who did, we never saw her again." Matron said she was transferred. But that night, the humming came again. And something in me needed to know. I crept into the hall, bare feet silent against the cold cement floor. Matron's lantern swung gently as she moved, the flame casting tall, swaying shadows on the walls. She led me past the classrooms, past the dining hall, to the old science block, a building we weren't allowed to enter. The humming grew louder, sweeter, like it was coming from someone who wasn't entirely human. In the back of the lab, she pressed her palm against the wall. With a low rumble, the wall slid open, revealing a narrow staircase spiraling down. I followed at a distance, each step groaning under my weight. The air grew colder, damper. And then, I smelled it. That same sweet, overripe scent, now stronger. Sickening. At the bottom was a dimly lit room lined with shelves. And on those shelves, glass jars. Dozens of them. Each one filled with cloudy liquid. And inside, faces. Girls' faces. Some looked peaceful. Some had their mouths open in frozen screams. Matron stood in the center, holding a jar close to her chest. She whispered something in a language I didn't recognize. The liquid inside began to swirl, and the face inside blinked. That's when I stepped back, and my foot hit a metal bucket. The clang echoed through the basement. Matron's head turned, too far. Almost all the way around. Her eyes locked on mine, unblinking. "You shouldn't be here, Jane," she said softly. "Not yet." She set the jar down, the face inside turning to look at me. Then she started walking toward me, slow, deliberate steps. I bolted up the stairs. Behind me, her humming grew louder, almost frantic. I reached the lab, but the door slammed shut on its own. The lantern light grew closer. I turned, and she was already there.